What is going on, everybody, man? And it's been a while since I've done a Recon Piece episode. I believe the last episode I did was towards the beginning of January before I got sick and I had to go on like that month-long hiatus. And I believe the last thing we covered in a Recon piece was that my favorite chapters of the decade episode, which was so much fun to record. You know, looking back at all the years within the decade and finding out all the chapters within said year that I really thought was a chapter of the year worthy contender. Because I had to cheat, man. There was no way I could get. I mean, maybe I can, but I wasn't trying to put that type of energy. You feel me? I was trying to talk about all the greatness that that was within the last decade of One Piece. And it led into that awesome episode. I had so much fun recording that, man. I hope to do something like that very, very soon. Once again, when it comes to doing a list of sorts in that type of way. But in this particular episode, man, we are going to be talking about the new volume cover, Pirate Warriors 4, which comes out this Friday, and of course, this marvelous, magnificent, beautiful chapter that we got this week, man. Specifically, how hyped I am, as I'm sure that all of you are, that after 7 long years, outside of the OVAs and the movies, let me put this into perspective. In the last 7 years, we have had multiple video games. I believe it's been Pirate Warriors 2, Pirate Warriors 3, we've had World Seeker, we've had that one Romance Dawn 3DS game. We're about to have Pirate Warriors 4. Alright, this has been quite a few games. We had Burning Blood. It's been quite a few games. We've had a plethora of specials. We've had Film Gold and Stampede release in the US. All before the Straw Hats got back together again. Because in early 2013, whenever we were in Dressrosa, that was the last time that we saw all of them together in the same way that we saw them within this chapter. Now granted, Jinbei is not here yet, so it's not all of them, but at the very least the Straw Hats that we know of aside from Jinbei being together, the Straw Hat crew that was the Straw Hat crew back in Dressrosa, we haven't seen all of them together in a very, very, very long time. And so that by itself made this last chapter absolutely incredible for me, man. And the goat with the coat, Nami, wearing the armor of legends. Zeus is out here wearing the samurai helmet. My man Sanji's wearing gloves. Are you kidding? We'll get into that in a second, man. But before we get into anything, I want to show y'all this awesome card that I got in Treasure Cruise. Now, this is a free-to-play unit, so it is one that anybody can get as long as you beat the Sabo. The brand new Sabo event, the brand new Sabo event that they have in the Extra Island, celebrating the Stampede special that's currently going on. But there's this one particular card that I just got, man. Look at this card evolved, bro. Let's see if my camera can get in focus, because my camera never wants to work with me when it comes to this type of stuff. Bro, look at that card. It's Sabo in his Stampede outfit. And right next to him doing the pose from the movie is Ace, dude. Ghost Ace. Going up in like swimwear, both of them letting go to he can. Dude, when I saw this card art, I was like, I need this card, dude. And we finally have it. And its stats are pretty straight for a free-to-play unit. 2755 HP and 1479 attack. And that's without me having boosted it barely at all. Like, dude, just look at it, bro. Look at Sabo and Ace, dog. One of my favorite cards in the game, still to this very day, is this one right here. I got this a long time ago, and I still run it in almost every single team that I have. As long as I don't have, like, one of the Luffy's on. If I don't have one of the Luffy's on, I use this, dude. I'll always love this unit, man. It's the Luffy and Ace card, the dual card. This is one of the first, like, really, really good cards that I got in the game. Look at that card, dude. From that legendary panel back in Marineford. And I've always adored that. I've gotten quite a few. I've gotten lucky quite a few times in the past couple weeks on this game. I don't know why it's treated me so well. Maybe it's because, like, you know, you're on hiatus for so long, Recon. You're finally back. Let's treat you right. I guess that's what they're doing. Or maybe it's because the manga's on. No, I was about to say maybe it's because the manga's on fire, but the manga's been on fire for 975 straight chapters. You feel me? So there's been no difference at all. But man, dude, yeah, Pirate Warriors 4. Pirate Warriors 4 officially comes out this week on Friday. Super stoked for that, man, because this game is going to be co-op. To actually have a cooperative experience for Pirate Warriors, which is why I'm getting it on the Xbox platform specifically, so that because most of my friends play on that system, so I decided, you know what, man, I'm gonna buy it on there because the last Pirate Warriors games for 3, I got it for 2, I got it for PS4 and for Switch, and on the Switch is where I put the most time into it because I could take it wherever I wanted to. Anytime I just felt like playing some One Piece aside from Treasure Cruise, I just pop in Pirate Warriors 3 and played on the Switch, man. Do the dream log and the open, I forgot what it was called, the free log and the dream log was mainly where I put most of my time into, you know, trying to unlock all the characters that are reading the story and whatnot. So I'm looking forward to seeing how Pirate Warriors 4 is going to go about that. I've seen most of the characters that they're going to have. Actually, no, I've seen them all now because I watched that trailer that they released just earlier. I think it was this week or last week. No, it has to be last week because today's Monday. So you start losing track of time with this whole craziness going down. But yeah, I saw all of the characters that are going to be in the game when the game releases. So, of course, they're adding these 9 DLC characters. Now, for these 9 DLC characters, if at least one of them isn't Odin, I'm going to be disappointed, son. I mean, that depends on the other characters they're going to add, but dude, one of them has to be Odin. And for the love of all that is flag nerds, add Roger, bro. We finally have a named attack for Roger. We do not have a single named attack for Shanks, and he's still in all these games. Put Roger in the game 2020. We need the People's Mustache. We need Michael Jeffrey Jordan in the game, son. Goal, D. Roger, do you know how much I would use Roger? Give him Shanks' moveset and let his ult be Divine Departure. Do you understand how amazing that would be? I don't care if he's the final DLC character, so that way Pirate Warriors can let it stack up all the way to when the anime gets there. I'm fine with that. If you want the final DLC characters to be like Prime Whitebeard, Odin, Prime Rayleigh, and Roger, I'll take it. You feel me? I'll take it. Just put at least one of them in the game, man. I mean, you know how badly I want to play as Odin? Odin has several named attacks. You can put him in the game, man. Give him a square, a circle, his R1. We're good. We're good, man. But no, seriously, we need Roger in this game. But aside from the characters that we do not have, because I know, for example, NL, I don't think NL hasn't been confirmed, right? Hold on. Let me bring it up right quick, man. No, as a matter of fact, instead of using this, let me bring it up on my laptop. I'm pretty sure that NL has not been confirmed, because NL has been one of my most used characters in every Power Warriors game that he's been in. I have him maxed out to 99 in the second one. Not in the third one, but in the second one, I had him maxed out 99 because he was a monster. NL greatness. My man is the GOAT for wiping out multiple different enemies at once. Let me go to the Pirate Warriors 4 website right quick. And then, man, dude, like some of the gameplay for a lot of the other characters, like I've been hyping up Kaido. I cannot wait to play as Dragon Kaido, man. I mean, to play as all the uncles, like post-timeskip Blackbeard, man, Mr. Z himself. Are you kidding me? Like, dude. And then to play as the Wano outfits, like, yo, Sanji. I've been in a Sanji mood, man. I have been in a Sanji mood, and it's all because of that episode. I was like, dude, when Power Warriors 4 comes out, I gotta use Sobamas Sanji, the legend himself. Let's, okay, characters. Where's characters? Characters, here it is. I make this full screen. Playable characters. Alright, so you got the King right here. Yeah, I can't wait to play as Mihawk, dude. Alright, so, oh, and then Kid, man. I cannot wait to play as Kid either, especially with the recent events that have been going on. Katakuri, especially. Luffy, because, man, I can't wait to use him in his Wano outfit, but I also really can't wait to play as Snake Man, because, of course, we've had Snake Man in Treasure Cruise, and I believe he's in World Seeker as well. But I don't have it in the DLC for World Seeker, so I haven't been able to play Snake Man just like to be able to use in Roam Around. I used Bound Man in Burning Blood a lot. I used to spam that character online. You can ask anybody that I played. I spammed Jet Culverin, dude. Straight up, just rise up, call the body, call the body. That was toxic. I'm not gonna lie. You gotta do what you gotta do to catch dubs. Especially when you're Luffy, man. You can't disrespect the king. But, so I can't wait to use Luffy for sure. Can't wait to use Snake Man and how you're going to be able to switch between Bounce Man, Snake Man, and all the other different techniques that you'll be able to utilize. Zoro, man, uses Wano outfit, Zoro Judo Greatness, and to play as Onami as well in her outfit. I do wonder if they're going to add the other Wano Stride outfits later on down the line. I guess we'll see when that, if that happens. Later on down the line, of course, the Mask Sanji, man, yo. If they give Sanji, at the very least, a shooting star soba kick that he did in the latest episode. If not, just give him the design. Give him the design and like put his speed up to like 99 or something. You know, make him like Champ Bailey in the old Madden games. Put his speed up to 99, dog, and we'll be good. We'll be good. You put him like Michael Vick in Madden 04. Just make him haxed, as he should. Put his invisibility factor, like whenever you press R1, you go invisible. You feel me? Do something sick like that. So we'll see what happens there, but obviously I'm going to be using all the strats. Buggy, one of the characters I always go to in the old games. Mihawk, man. Dude. Dracule Mihawk. I can't wait, bro. My hype for Mihawk and Hancock with what's currently going on in the One Piece universe and how we left off with them in chapter 956, I mean, my hype for them is up here. And after watching Stampede, and my hype for all the characters that were in that movie is like triple in the air. Dog, wait until I get to use my boy Mihawk. Wait until I get to use him, man. That's gonna be awesome stuff. And of course, Smoker, Tashigi, Crocodile, Mr. Himself, my boy Goat D-Ace. And we got post-time skip Blackbeard. Bro, the fact that post-time skip Blackbeard is in this game is so sick to me. I love using Blackbeard in any of these games. I use him in Jump Force. I used him in Burning Blood. I mean, he's just so OP. So I can't wait to use him in his brand new design, chilling and flexing in the way only he can in this game. Hancock will be definitely using here, of course. Ivankov, Jinbei. Gonna be a lot of fun to use this like in previous games. The three admirals. And we have Fujitora over there, but we have Kizaru, of course, Kuzan, Akainu, and right here they're in their pre-time skip outfits, but well, except for Kuzan, but I'm sure we're gonna have their post-time skip ones too, at the very least for Akainu. Then we have Whitebeard right next to them. Now Whitebeard, like I said before, because they had Prime Beard in Burning Blood with like the long blonde hair, so I'm wondering if like one of the DLC characters, or if at the very least they're gonna add a skin for Prime Beard. I think that'd be really cool. But regardless, Whitebeard is awesome to use no matter what part of Whitebeard. It's Whitebeard, bro. Like, are you kidding me? He's always gonna be GOAT. Always has been in all the other games, and there's no question he's gonna be GOAT in this game too. Then of course we have Marco. I cannot wait to play as Mr. himself, bro. Dopey. Overheat, son, are you kidding me? I'm gonna bring down the birdcage upon everyone. They are going to suffer the steel cage match. Alright, I'm gonna bring that thing down on them. I'm gonna awaken with the fruit and I'm going ham. Are you kidding me, dog? Like, yo, the heavenly demon. Can't wait to play as Dopey. Fujitora, of course, that's gonna be a lot of fun. Law, he's fun in every single game. My boy Sabo, I hope they add Sabo's outfit from Stampede because he looks so sick. But even if they don't, we'll most certainly be using Sabo. Shanks. I mean, how can I... It's Shanks. Like, bro, in Power Warriors 3, you would walk with Shanks, and people would literally knock it. Like, they would fall. As they should. So in Power Warriors 4, if I walk and they don't fall, then it is not factual. You feel me? Like, dog, I forgot what button it was, too, but you held on one of the buttons. And, I mean, if you could do that with any Conqueror's Hockey user in Power Warriors 3, it would knock them out. But specifically for Shanks, you don't even need to activate the R1. You just need to press something, and if you walked, people would be knocked out. Like it did whenever you walked on Whitebeard's ship. And it was such a cool thing. I would just flex that non-stop throughout the match. So I hope they add that feature back with Shanks, but Of course I'm going to use Shanks, bro. Then you have Robert D. Lucci right next to him. Now, these next three, I would dare say the rest from here on, all brand new to the Power Warriors series. Now, I've used certain characters, specifically Kid in Burning Blood, and I used him a lot in Burning Blood. He was so much fun to use. But everyone else, and Bartolomeo as well, but I think everyone else is brand spanking new to these games aside from World Secret and whatnot. So we've got Bartolomeo. That's going to be he's going to be an extremely fun character to use in the whole Pirate Warriors. Was he in 3? I was just playing out here, remember, man. See, this is what's going on up here in the brain. But anyways, Bartolomeo, and we got Cavendish. Super excited to use Cavendish as well. I wonder if he's going to go into his Hakuba state, possibly whenever you R1 or whatnot. So that should be fun just to hear his dialogue with the other characters. He's a very hilarious dude. Katakuri, man, Mr. Donut, Sugita-san himself, coming up straight up in like somewhere. I wonder if you're gonna be able to use his trident right off of the bat. I've seen the Buzz Mochi, like I've seen him using that in action within the gameplay. That's going to be a lot of fun to use, dude. So Katakuri obviously is going to be one of the most used characters I think all of us are going to be using. Then you have Hawkins. Now, if Hawkins' gameplay isn't like how Yugi is in Jump Force, I'm going to be disappointed. Because my man has to be out here playing Yu-Gi-Oh! While everybody else is playing checkers. I mean, that's just the way it works. That's Hawkins. Carrot, cannot wait to use the Sulong form. I'm fortunate enough to have that card in Treasure Cruise, but to actually be able to maneuver around with Sulong form Carrot is going to be a lot of fun. Now here we have the Power Rangers, baby. Reiju, 100% going to be using Reiju. There's no question about that. Pink Power Ranger greatness. Then Ichiji. Now Ichiji, Niji, and Yonji, I'm looking forward to seeing how they're going to differentiate the moves and how each character feels. I'm not sure if they're going to make all 3 of them feel the same. Same thing with like Sobama Sanji. I'm not sure if they're going to make them feel very the same when it comes to the mechanics and how they feel whenever you're using them. But even if they do, as long as like of course the colors are going to be different, but as long as like certain techniques are specific to each character in a way that'll make them work, I'll end up using all of them. For sure, because it's German, dog. It's the Power Rangers. Like, come on, coach. Super Sentai greatness. Then after that, now I saw a lot of gameplay from this legend right here, man. Capone Gangu. My boy, the Big Father. Gang Biji. Coming up in like swimwear. And I saw so much of his gameplay. Like, my man just goes down. He's riding on his wheeler. And you get to actually see the cannon growing out of his chest and just waxing dudes in front of him. And it was so cool because the setting for the gameplay video I was watching it on was in Whole Cake Island. And I was like, alright, man, see, this is what he does. So that's going to be so much fun to use. And his dialogue is undoubtedly going to be so much fun. Just to hear Capone's voice actor. I really like Capone's voice actor. It just fits like the whole Scarface and Godfather type of mood. But anyways, really excited to use Capone. He will definitely be one of those characters. I mean, I'm saying that for all these characters, but Capone, because he's going to be a new addition, he's going to definitely be one of those characters I'm looking forward to playing as the most, just to see how that feels and whatnot. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Kid, just like the other supernovas, it's a given, right? It's a given I'm going to be using my boy. And then we have the last 2 Yonko. This is their very first appearance in any of these games. Big Mom and Kaido. Now, Big Mom, I saw a lot of her gameplay based on the first gameplay presentation they did for the game way back when, and since then they've added quite a few little bits and pieces, but she's playing exactly how I initially thought that she was going to play, and so I'm super excited to see and actually get to play as Big Mom, man. That's going to be really, really dope. And then Kaido, bro. Regular form Kaido, I'm going to be using. Dragon form Kaido, I'm going to be spamming. I can almost guarantee you that if I end up playing this game, because I'm still not sure if I'm going to even really enjoy this game like the other Power Warriors games, but if I do in the way that I did the other games, I can almost guarantee you that Dragon Form Kaido, if he's separate from regular Kaido, because I'm not sure exactly how the game's going to work, I think it's going to be the same character. So if it's the same character, Kaido's going to be level 99. It's like how in the other games I had those specific characters that I had all the way up to level 99. Kaido will be max level when I'm finished. Because Dragon Form Kaido looks like just way too much fun to use. There is no way I'm not going to use Dragon Form Kaido. You feel me? So, Dragon Form Kaido, 100% will be using all those. I'm going to use every single one of these characters, but the new additions I'm super, super looking forward to seeing and actually getting to play as them. and a couple of the other nice ones that have just been fun to play as in the other games, of course, are also going to be nice as well. But the ones specifically like the new outfits and the new additions to this game are the ones I'm looking forward to playing the most, especially with the Wano outfits, man. And the settings, dude, like playing in Wano and you're playing as Luffy Taro, dog, well, that's going to be sick. I can already tell Luffy is going to be once again max level in this game for me. I mean, it's like he is in all the other ones, but especially with the amount of variations it's probably going to have. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can play as pre-time skip Luffy too, right? So you're going to be able to switch between gear second, gear third. You're going to post-time skip. You can use the Red Hawk Ornament Hockey Luffy, I'm sure, with then the gear fourth Luffy. I'm not sure if they're all going to be the same character. So just imagine having that amount of variation, like having the ability to go from Bounce Man to Snake Man. Like, it's going to be an extremely fun character to use just for all the different variations, right? So yeah, super excited for Fire Warriors 4. And we'll see how it goes this Friday, man. We're really close. I already have the game downloaded and ready to go and ready to pop in like somewhere. Yo, dude, I don't know what it was, but today I've had End Roll, specifically the instrumental version that was playing during the Sanji and Pudding scene in episode 877, is playing in my head all day today. And it started because I was doing this, comparing the arcs, or like people were asking me like which arc do I prefer out of whatever series, right? Comparing it to another arc from either the same series or another series. And somebody asked me Whole Cake Island or Dressrosa. And when I tried replying to the thing, it kept telling me the thing was like I couldn't do it. So I was like, Flagnards, man. And it left like a thing in my head where I was like, I couldn't stop thinking about Whole Cake Island like the entire day, because that was gonna be my answer. I was like, man, you know what, dude? I love Dressrosa. I really, really do. But Whole Cake Island has the Sanji and Pudding stuff, bro. Like, dog, that stuff to me on a weekly basis, that jump was hitting. So just imagine how it must have felt for me when I read chapter 902. And especially with the way they nailed it in episode 877. Arguably one of the best episodes in the entire anime. Let alone in the arc. And the arc is 100% my number one favorite episode. But in the entire series, bro, I mean, it is up there. That is a masterclass episode, bro. And everything. Voice acting, music. I mean, episode 877? Son, are you kidding me? Go to episode. So I've had that incredible song stuck in my head this entire time. Volume cover. Look at this volume cover, bro. Dude, look at this. So I got this from the Ichiro Oda staff One Piece Twitter page. Come on, work with me. Come on, camera, if you can't show anything else, show this. Dude, I don't know if you can see it. If not, if my phone continues to thing, I will just, you know what? I'm gonna use the power of editing. There will be a volume picture in this corner. Y'all will see this thing in good quality, man. And if I don't, then yell at me in the comment section for it. So just look at this volume cover, bro. Just look at it, dude. You got Luffy Taro on the bottom, flexing. On the left, you have a straw hat wearing young Shanks with Buggy chilling. Then right next to them is my man Goat D Ruja wearing the pink. I mean, my man is rocking it, dog, in his prime. You got Roger, and you have Rayleigh. Then you have right in the middle, dead set, the star. The flashback is about him. It's due to him that we were able to meet all these legends. Kozuki Odin. Then next to Odin, you got Jozu, and you have Blackbeard having the Wolverine gloves on for, or we're assuming that's how he scratched Shanks. And then we have on top Primebeard rocking the green, and Marco. This right here is one of those volume covers that once I get this volume in my possession, I will be looking at it quite frequently, man. It is magnificent. Having just all these players on one page, on one single cover, it just shows you that we're near the end of the series. We're in the end game. Kidding me, bro? Prime Roger, Whitebeard, Blackbeard, Shanks, and Luffy in the same cover? Like, bro, what are we doing? Man, I remember seeing the rough drafts for this cover and being like, man, this is going to be a great cover. But never in a million years did I expect this. Never in a million years, bro. My man's just rocking pink. Goatee Roger is out here flexing on his Doflamingo gang. Excuse me. Let's go. And you see the cape behind Roger too, bro. Yo, I can't wait for the volume cover for the stuff we're currently in. Can you imagine if on the volume cover they have Luffy in this coat? Oh, go with the coat, gang. But yeah, man, I just wanted to just in case if you haven't seen the volume cover, I wanted to show it to y'all here in this video, man. This volume cover is nasty. It is legendary, dude. Amazing stuff. And then just a little small touch, like having Blackbeard holding the Wolverine thing, well, with that face. And the other side you have Shanks and Buggy, dude. And then Luffy on the bottom, man, as our MC. But it's such a marvelous cover. Just to have all these wonderful characters on one cover is enough. But God, man, the presentation of it, the little small details like that, it's just so dope to me, bro. I love this, man. I cannot wait to actually get to own this. It'll probably be next year, considering the way the release schedule is. I believe we're getting volume 93 soon, even though I probably won't be able to get it because the well, I won't be able to get it at launch because the place that I normally get it from, they're only delivering essentials at this point in time due to everything going on. So even though One Piece isn't essential, but you know, they'll probably not look at it like that. So, but anyways, man, let's get into the chapter. Chapter 975. Now, this is going to be very similar to my last Afterthoughts, where I was like, you know what, man, instead of going through the thing page by page, I want to talk about some specific things, right? So in this one, I just want to talk about the Straw Hats, bro. I legitimately, dude, I want to tell y'all how much, Actually, no, before we get into that, I still can't believe that I did not notice that this was Lola the first time I read this chapter. Because I was so focused and so hyped, and y'all know how it is, man. Sometimes whenever you're hyped and whenever your brain starts melting, that happens to me. That definitely happens to me. So when I first saw this, it didn't click in my brain that Gotti was being kissed by what could be Lola. And if this truly is Lola, then this is leading towards an eventual Lola and Chiffon meetup. Reunion within these cover pages. That is going to make this cover page monumental. Why? Because that is going to lead us towards the inevitable reunion between Lola and the Straw Hats. Between Lola and Nami. The sister Nami gang. Now we know how important Thriller Bark is to the current events of Wano, which very well could lead to why we are getting this cover page at this point in time in order to introduce Lola back to us. We are getting a lot of references back to Thriller Bark. So I'm looking forward to seeing where Oda is going with this particular cover page and introducing Lola and having all this come together. Where is he going to be going with this? Where is it going to lead to and into either some stuff in post-Wano, after the arc after Wano? I mean, what is Oda going with here? Because every single cover page that he has is there for a reason, which is why I'm still super excited to see what is going to happen with the NL cover story. I mean, obviously, that is some extremely important stuff. My dude is on the moon. There's a bunch of hieroglyphics all over the place. Some people say that the giant Straw Hat is the ship that they were looking at with NL. So, I mean, there's a lot of important stuff in these cover pages. And so, the fact that this possibly could be Lola here is, I mean, that's incredible in and of itself. Like, that's insane. Like, Lola, it's so wild, right? But the fact that we're possibly getting a reunion in these cover pages tells me that Oda is reserving space for what is going to happen in the future. He's letting us know, like, yo, we're introducing some players back once more, and stuff that we talked about back in Whole Cake Island that was going to happen is going to take place. And we're going to get to these reunions, and we're going to see stuff going down and stuff like that. So I wonder where this cover page is going from here. We're on volume 23 right now for the All My Family saga in this cover page. But like I said, I'm looking forward to seeing where Oda takes it. If any of you have any ideas of where Oda's going to take this cover page, feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. But let's get into the chapter, man. Let's get into the second page, bro. Dude. The goat with the coat, bro. I mean, need I say more, man? Look, just getting to this page by itself made me thirsty. Dog. Let me tell you something, man. As I've said so many times leading up to this chapter for all these years, ever since. I think we've been talking about this on streams since possibly Zoe. Maybe Whole Cake, but I know for a fact that post Whole Cake, from there up until now, at least for us here on the channel and on streams, we have been hyping up so much the reunion of the Straw Hats and how it could lead into one of the most incredible double page spreads of all of them, especially if the fleet comes and Jinbei comes and they have this legendary walk to Kaido's castle, right? Or to Kaido's mansion. And so, for so long, I thought Oda was saving, and he probably still is, because we're not all back together again. But I'd been thinking for so long that Oda was saving the reunion of the Straw Hats for something around the lines of like an invasion on Kaido's palace. And technically we were kind of right, because that's exactly what we're heading towards. But I think what makes this so special is that instead of us just getting a moment with the Straw Hats, we're getting a moment here to where everything seemed so dark in terms of Flagnars. How are we going to get out of the situation? And granted, yes, we found out that Conjuro was the traitor, right? And everything seemed to be going downhill from that very point. But then we got to see the three captains, you know, our Kid, Law, and Luffy going up in like swimwear and be like, nah, dog, like, yo, we're here. We are here. And a lot of y'all kept telling me in the comment section, like, yo, they're there with their ships. And I saw Law's ship and I saw Kid's ship. But for Luffy, I was like, bro, is this man on the Sunny by himself? Is he with a couple others? Because I was wondering, does he have others infiltrating Wano right now? Or now, we're already in Wano, but like, we're infiltrating Onigashima. Like, you know, how Sanji has done his Mr. Prince stuff in the past. We know that Robin and Brooke are also very good in espionage action. So I was wondering, I was like, are we about to go on another espionage mission where like half of the crew goes, infiltrates from the backside, the other half goes in from the front? I mean, it very well could have happened that way, but no, the whole crew is here on the ship, man. We have our beloved Straw Hats back together again in the same place. And you know, I was reading through this chapter, even before I got to that incredible scene with Luffy, Kid, and Law releasing all their abilities, I already had like these vibes of genuine happiness and excitement. And it's simply due to us having these characters back again. And like for other series out there that normally have like their characters together, it may feel like a very weird thing for us in this community to be so excited to see all these characters again, but I think it's because of the length of this series and the connection that we have to these Straw Hats that it just makes a reunion of this caliber, especially where it's taking place, just feels so incredible. I mean, it's like I was saying last week, whenever I saw Luffy for the first time since October in manga time, and the fact that it was amplified by the fact that he was here with Kid and Law, and he was rocking some new gear. I mean, a coat, for God's sakes. That like quadrupled the excitement. It's like Oda knew exactly what he was doing, man. I'm not gonna show Luffy for a while, but when I do show him again, it's gonna be legendary. And here within this chapter, starting it off with Frankie and Usopp in a very similar way in fashion. To whenever we first came into Wano. Whenever we first came back into Wano in chapter 909 after the Marco and Nekomushi stuff, the first thing that we saw whenever we headed into Wano, the very first draw that we saw was Frankie. At the very least in the manga. In the anime they showed Zoro first. But in the manga we saw Frankie, Frarosuke. Then we saw Usohachi, man, with Usopp. My man was the Toad Oil salesman going up in like swimmer. Then we saw Robin and then we saw Zoro. So it was interesting that we started off this panel with Usopp and Frankie in their new armor. Now my boy Frankie's rocking it. He always rocks it. You know, that's the general, baby. He's always rocking his thing. But my man Usopp, bro, my man's just looking fresh, especially on page, where is it? On the following page, I believe this is page 4. Page 4. Man's out here flexing, wearing the heavy, yo, he's looking good out here, son, my boy. So, yeah, it was great seeing Usopp and Frankie right here. And then on the bottom, of course, we see Frankie, we see we see Brooke, we see Carrot, and we see Robin. Now, Robin, we didn't really get to see a good, look at the complete outfit like we did for most of the other Straw Hats within this chapter. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Oda is going to continue to do with Robin, because up until this point in time, Robin had one of my favorite Wano designs. I mean, the geisha outfit, I mean, she was just rocking that thing. So I'm looking forward to seeing how how Robin's design is going to resonate with us once we actually get to see the full and complete thing. And Oda always gives Robin some really awesome designs, but it's just we can barely see it within these pages. You feel me? And it looks really cool. Like on the following page, on page 4, it looks like a pretty cool design, but we're only seeing it from afar. So I look forward to seeing more from Robin's. Brook, it looks like he's rocking something similar to what he did in Whole Cake Island. And then we have Carrot right there in the back. Now let's talk about the king, bro. I mean, it's Luffy with a coat, bro. I mean, it's Luffy with a coat with a cape flying in the wind. Need I say more? I mean, yo, for so long, like, his post-time skip design to me is so incredible because it kind of feels like the design is longer. It kind of feels like he is rocking a captain's type of coat. It no longer feels like a shirt. It feels kind of like a coat. You know, he's rocking a coat. At least that's how his post-time skip design has always looked like to me, where it looks like a jacket to a certain extent. Like he's rocking that Master's jacket, like he's Tiger Woods in his prime, just like, yeah. So as time has gone on and we've seen some of his other designs post-time skip, it kind of made me miss that original design that we got from him when we first came back, you know, chapters 598, 603, and going to Fishman Island and whatnot. But now he's rocking the coat, bro. Now he's rocking the coat, bro. With the coat and the cape, looking fresh on some Roger and Shanks stuff, man. And it's just, he's so captain-like right now, bro. I mean, he's always been the cap, but dog. You know, towards the beginning of the saga, you know, when we found out that he was the 5th Emperor, it put everything in perspective. But seeing him in this chapter, rocking what could very well be his Pirate King's coat, by the Flagnars, bro. I mean, it just gives you chills. It's like, yo, this is the dude that I've been with since he popped out of the barrel and said, let's get it, Kobe. From there, the man who said, I want to be Pirate King. From all the way back then up until now, and you just remember the whole journey up until this point, you're like, Flagnars. The GOAT. Turn the page. Now, yo, Chopper, looking fresh. Loving the design. But he's sitting next to the dude who is rocking. I mean, yo, it's so simple, but it's so Sanji, dog. And what's so incredible to me is that Oda has given us very similar Sanji designs in the past. But we have gloves right now, bro. Do you know what that indicates? That indicates that this is a possible raid suit enhancement design. That means that these gloves might have something to do with the adjustments and the upgrades that Usopp and Frankie did to the raid suit. And you already know that if it's Usopp and Frankie, considering how hyped they were, you know, I was just reminded of that thanks to this week's episode. But if it is Usopp and Frankie designing something for the raid suit, you can expect it to be awesome sauce, because it's something that they would want to wear themselves. So those gloves have to be something for his raid suit. It's going to be something for his high espionage action. I mean, that's just Sanji. That's just the way he is, man. He's Mr. Prince. That's why I love him for it. I always love my stealth missions. I'm a Metal Gear Solid tard, for the love of God, man. Of course, I love that Sanji greatness. So, is my boy going to pop up in like something like with them, or is he going to go on his own solo espionage mission? We do not know. We don't know what's going to take place. What I can tell you is that what these gloves tell me is that we're about to see something extremely special with my boy Sanji here, man, because he looks extremely fresh, dog. My guy is rocking it, you feel me? And then the following panel, we see Frankie, Robin, and Usopp together. And then on the bottom panel, rocking, aside from Luffy, my favorite design out of all of the new Straw designs, Nami is looking fresh, dog. She's rocking like the Toki, or the Komurasaki Hiyori type of little flower band that's coming down her hair, little flower pin. And right with that, she's wearing some armor with like a Kunoichi outfit. And it just looks so incredible, slut. And on top of that, she has Zeus in a samurai helmet. Like, by Flatter, Zeus, we playing Dynasty Warriors or Wano, son, or is it both? And then right next to them, we have Brook and Zoro. And now Zoro is rocking a design very similar to man, dude, it's I had it in my head, and I was gonna talk about it. Now I forget. But it's a design that reminds me of another design that he's had in one of the specials or the movies. I don't remember which one it was. See, this is what happens. This is what happens, man, when the hype gets to you. But anyways, I rock with Zoro's design because inevitably, we know what happens with Zoro designs while he's going through an arc. It's gonna get ripped up. Especially when he's going to try hard. He's going to go up in like somewhere. So regardless of the design that he has, it's not going to matter because he's going to go up in like somewhere. It doesn't matter. That's motherfucking Zoro, dog. So, yeah, man. But this page right here, page 4, with like all the strides consecutively back to back to back. And even granted, they aren't all here. You know, it's we see some right here and the others right here. Just having most of them together like this again is so dope to me, bro. Like, they had been apart for so long. Amazing, dude. Loving their new designs. And, like, their new designs really make me think, like, man, what are their roles gonna be in this arc? I mean, we all know what Luffy's gonna do. You know, he's gonna take on Kaido. Maybe Kaido and Big Mom together. Maybe just Kaido. But at the very least, we know he's gonna box Yonko. He's taking out a Yonko within this arc, and we know that's what's gonna take place. You know, right here, along with some of the other captains, maybe with the rest of the Strats. We don't know what's gonna happen, but that's gonna be Luffy's role at the end of the day. Now, for everyone else, that is where it gets very, very interesting because we've speculated. What are their other roles going to be? Is it gonna be a fighting matchup type of thing like it was back in Alabasta and his lobby and those type of arcs, or is it gonna be split? Like Monster Trio is gonna fight, maybe some of the other ones have their own matches, and some of the other ones go out and try to do certain other things that is gonna help out the cause. I mean, we have no idea what is gonna take place. Because they all have specific outfits for them, like brand new outfits for each other, I can safely assume that at the very least, no matter what happens, whether it's a fight, some sort of important moment of action, or something that they're going to do in order to help out what is currently going down, I don't know. You feel me? I don't know what they're going to do. But what I can tell you is because of the amount of detail that Oda has gone into these designs to give them brand new designs after he just gave them new designs, I can safely assume that he is going to give each and every one of them a good amount of shine in some way, shape, or form. I'm not sure what, but I can assume that, man, because Oda just seems extremely excited to have drawn these designs in the way that he did. You know, so obviously he wants to show them off in singular action, an action where you can clearly see these designs like in their full glory. At least that's the way I would like to do it if I was writing something like this, you know. Real quick, I want to talk about something that Frankie brought up in this chapter, right here in the first page, where he says, I don't know who it was that tried to bomb the Sunny, but they were idiots for thinking any old explosive would do the trick. This is the ship that'll cross 1,000 seas. It's made of wood from Adam the Jewel Tree. Now, we've speculated a lot in the community about, you know, the Adam Tree, the origin of the fruits, Vegapunk, who possesses this information. When are we going to know all that stuff? Especially with the more we get to learn about fruits. I mean, we've learned a considerable amount about fruits in the entirety of the series up until this point in time, and yet the origins are a mystery, right? Like we speculate about the Eden and about the tree and with the Adam Tree and with the fruits and all that stuff and the Void Century. Like we have a lot of information, or we have some information we can speculate on, but we have nothing specific, you know, how most of the mysteries are in the series. So, but specifically when it comes to this, with Oda reiterating this once again within this arc, where he's like, yo, man, the Sunny is made specifically of this, you know, and he, once again, I mean, Oda does love his bolding, you know, he bolds a lot, or at the very least that comes from the individuals who are typesetting this, or maybe his editors, but regardless, where the series gets published, they love their bold words, right? So I'm very curious on seeing why it is, and maybe it's just something like nothing. Like maybe Frankie just having pride in the fact that Flagnar's yelling taking out the ship because it's something made from the atom tree. It's made of the atom from the jewel tree. So you better put some respect on it because that is a very rare thing that not every ship has. So maybe it's a thing of pride. But also, knowing Oda, there's always some sort of meaning behind what's on the screen, right? So I'm curious on whether he put that there as a reminder on purpose to remind us, like, yo, this thing exists. Or if it simply is just Frankie showing off. Regardless, I love it because it's, number one, Frankie showing the pride in his work. Then whenever he built the Sunny back in Postwater 7. But if it isn't, it really did a good job of reminding me of the fact that we still have a Vegapunk to talk about. And last time, of course, that we saw any indication of that was back with Smoker, just before, I believe that was Zoe. So it's been quite some time. It's been quite some time since we've seen anything to do with Vegapunk. So when that comes back into fruition once more, which there can only be so much left, right, within the series. Eventually, we're going to run into Vegapunk. And what that means is eventually we're going to find out so much about the technology and about the fruits and about the origins of so many things that we've been very, very curious on. Now, I don't know if Oda wants to reveal all of that then or if he wants to reveal all of that whenever we get to the Void Century. I'm not sure. Or maybe he can split it. Who knows what he's going to do. But it did remind me of all that stuff. And I was like, can't wait to actually get to that. It's the whole origin thing because, like I've continued to discuss, especially with my hype for the Reverie chapters and the rereading those and whatnot, about the possibilities of One Piece being this post-apocalyptic world, which is a very high possibility, and that could very well lead into this entire thing with the Atom Tree. What and how they originated, where it originated. Did it originate, before the Void Century, after the Void Century? Have they always been there? Has it just been hidden? Like, you feel me? Like, where? How? What? Like, how do these fruits come to be a thing? Like, I'm so curious, Like, I don't know. But anyways, it's just some food for thought. And like I said, most likely it is just Frankie being extremely proud of the fact that that you won't be able to destroy the Sunny because it's made from this wood that not every ship has. So it should be a shipwright's pride, but with the way we are, we love looking into things more than that. But it did remind me of that thing. But once again, on the next page, can't wait to see what Nami's into this arc. She has been putting in work as Whole Cake Island, yo. Well, technically, all of them put in work in Whole Cake Island. At least the ones who were there. But I'm super excited to see what Nami's going to do with Zeus whenever she gets there. But of course, going through the chapter, Fake News Morgans himself, man. The bearer of fake news. My guy is actually out here attempting to cosplay one of the greatest characters in the history of this medium. He is trying to take out, not even take out, he's trying to cosplay, he's trying to become fake news. Because there's no way he can become big news. He must know that. There's no one who can replicate the greatness of Big News Morgans. Big Daddy M. Are you kidding me now? The bearer of big news? Let me tell you something. The bearer of big news is so legendary. The legends have it that there are people within this community who are still seeking help from this man to this very day. Why? Because it's the bearer of big news. That's where, bro, and once he says it, it's a shoot. That's why anytime that anybody wants to come with me about this whole Fifth Emperor stuff, it shouldn't happen. It came from the bearer of big news. Who's more of a reliable source than the bearer of big news? The most unbiased, the most objective source of information that you will ever find. There's no bias. There's no sense of perspective. It is all 100% objective when it comes out of Big News Morgan's mouth. Objective media? We don't consume that. We don't believe in that. We believe in the bearer of big news, not in the bearer of fake news. So I don't know what news channel or what, or if you follow, Fox or CNN or MSNBC, BBC. I don't know what y'all watch or read, or listen to podcasts or whatever. I don't know where you consume your news from. What I can tell you is the news source that you do not like. Refer to them as the bearer of fake news. The bearer of fake news. And that is what this person is right here. We might have failed to destroy that lion ship, but we made sure to sink every boat. I love how he refers to the Sunny as the lion ship. Disrespectful. We made sure to sink every boat lined up with the Itachi board last night. On Shogun Orochi's orders, we took down every great bridge that connects the regions. This man's thinking like a Pokemon villain. And then after that, it's whatever he proceeds to state. Something very surprising to me. I did not expect them to unveil this to the Strats this early. Is that there has been an alliance between the Animal Kingdom pirates and the Big Mom pirates. Now, when it comes to Big Mom and Kaido's alliance and how it's going to affect how these three crews approach the situation, it looks like it's not going to change it very much, considering how they acted within the chapter, which was really, really awesome. Because had it been, I feel like had Luffy not been there, Kid and Law wouldn't be as calm. Because Law has been with Luffy for so long that, like, God, with any given situation, he already understands that these dudes ain't going to care. They're going to go up in, like, somewhere, regardless of whatever takes place, right? So, Law, I already knew he wasn't going to change his plan, because he already knows Luffy's not going to change his mind. But with Kid in particular, Kid and Luffy do share that type of insane mindset together. I mean, man he challenged Big Mom, he challenged Shanks, and now he's challenging Kaido. I mean, obviously he doesn't give a flying blighter. So he has that Luffy type of mentality. And so I'm really happy that hearing that news didn't deter them very, very much in the moment. I'm looking forward to seeing how this is going to affect how they approach Onigashima, though. Like, once they get there, once they get to the port and whatnot, are they going to shift? Are they going to transition it into more of like an espionage plan? Are they going to transition it into wanting to invade from a specific angle? How are they going to approach it? How are they going to approach the invasion? Because with that knowledge, if they still decide to knock on the front door and come into the front door, if they knock down the front door knowing that knowledge, Luffy is already the emperor. He is already the emperor, and these dudes are his underlings, son. The king. Let them knock through the front door. You know how hyped this gonna be? They're having the fire festival, and with no espionage, no nothing, you just have Luffy knock from the which one's Kaido? Like, I get there for all along. Which one's Kaido, dog? Who wants to smoke? Even though, of course, he already knows who Kaido is, but still, you catch my drift. But anyways, we go into the next page, and we go into the next page. They started talking all this nonsense about the Strats and the small timers had already been captured. Talking about all three of the crews, and in the name of Kaido, the Emperor of the Sea, they'll all be sunk beneath the waves. And Luffy's like, what are you talking to? Like, why is this fodder speaking to me like they're my equal? And Law's like, you stand back, you idiot. Because Luffy's about to knock him straight out of the flag. I'm pretty sure Luffy would use King's Aki on him. And no one else was there. And Law's like, Flagners, I'm going up and look swimmer. And then the Kid is like, y'all better not dare get in my way. And so, of course, they go back. And I love these character interactions, man. It's just the three of them trolling each other with their classic rivalries. And then we get one of my favorite pages in the arc so far. An incredible spread with Kid using Punk Rot. And what I love so much about the way this is structured is it is structured in a way to where every single ability has its focus and it has enough space to truly give make it feel dynamic, right? So right on this part right here, since we don't need to see their full face, since we already know what their face looks like, he shows like a portion of it. So we see a portion of Kid's face, a portion of Luffy's face, and a portion of Law's face. Punk Rotten, Bounce Man, and Room. Punk Rotten, my man's has the armor coming up in like swimwear. I mean, he's turning into G.I. Joe, Power Ranger, Go Gundam Wing. I mean, he's out here, son. He's playing Titanfall 3. You feel me? Like, Kid is out here. He's ready. He's in his mech suit and ready to pwn. You got Luffy and Bounce Man, and he looks so cool in this, Now, talking about Bounce Man real quick. I stated this a little bit in the chapter reaction. But after seeing your comments, it really, really hit home what this indicates. Does this indicate that Luffy has indeed mastered Gear 4th? Or does this indicate that he's taking the next step into achieving mastery over the gears? Because if he popped into Bounce Man for these dudes. What that tells me is that he's ready to go in and out of that thing at will. And what that tells me is that Luffy's going to go into this as more of a threat than I already initially thought he was going to be. Going into Gear 4th at will and getting out of it at will with almost like no repercussions? You feel me? Like, yo, that's going to be something serious. So we'll see what happens there. I don't know. Personally, I don't know if this means that he has mastered the gears, at the very least Gear 4, or if this means that he is getting closer. He's reached that next step. He's elevated to the next step of mastering Gear 4th. Because I feel like full Gear 4th mastery would be having the awakening portion, right? That's mastering the gears. That's mastering your fruit. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm more in the camp that he's mastered the next step, like similar to how he mastered the next step for Gear 2nd and Gear 3rd, being able to go in and out of those at will without having to really mess him up. You know, almost complete mastery over those. So I'm wondering if he's reached out with G4, you know, a similar level of mastery that he does over G2 and G3. Very possible. Very, very possible. Now, I don't know if that would change if he, like, transitioned and went into Tank Man, or went into Snake Man, or into, like, Dragon Man, into Sun Man, into Mega Man. I don't know, son. I don't know what he's going to be doing. But what I can tell you is that, at the very least in Bounce Man, it appears to be able to go in and out of that form at will. And that is very, very exciting. That is extremely exciting, considering that they're going to need every single bit of their potential within this upcoming battle. And so I feel like this is a really nice showcase for Oda to show, like, yo, Luffy ain't playing no games. He's ready to go up in like swimwear, and he ain't afraid to use Gear 4th whenever he needs to or when he wants to. So that was a really cool showcase right there. And shout out to everybody's comments for really, you know, enlightening me on that. And really showcasing like flag nerds like that. Like, that's so true. Does this lead towards mastery? You know, is he one step closer? Has he already mastered it? And so I'll let y'all discuss that within the conversation yourselves, but those are just my thoughts on it. And we have Law utilizing Room, as he always does, and it's just so cool, man. Just being able to have an entire page dedicated to all three of them using their abilities like this, yo. Like, it's so awesome. And you're like, oh, stop, like, oh, they're extremely pissed. Like, no, did you see what y'all just said? You call them small part-timers. Small time. That you already waxed and put in prison. Not knowing these are the future emperors of the sea. One of them is the future Pirate King. Put some respect on their names, coach. And you have them bickering once again down here. Absolutely love that panel. Right into the ship exploding. And then we get into the plot twist that blew my mind, man. Denjiro actually showing up. I didn't expect Kyoshiro to show up. I really didn't. I thought that after the last chapter, we were going to have a situation where Kyoshiro was going to stay back in the Flower Capital, protecting Komurasaki, as he already has done throughout this entire arc so far, or throughout the entire journey of Wano, right? He's continued to protect Komurasaki, he's continued to protect Hiyori, and make sure that no one gets close to the Princess of Wano. That's been his role, and he's delivered it, and he has nailed it, and he's went up in the storm. He has an S rank on that mission. You feel me? If this is a video game, he would have all the achievements. That's how much he has gone in and truly gone about his way of protecting Hiyori. So I thought he was going to stay with that. But in actuality, he's shown up here. Now, where does this leave Hiyori? I don't know. I don't know where this leaves Hiyori. I don't know what she's going to do back in the Flower Capital. I'm not sure if she's going to go about it maybe as something similar to Lady Toki. Not sure. I'm not sure what Hiyori is going to do. But I'm very interested now that Kyoshiro is not there. Because with Kyoshiro there, it made me, like, no matter what happens, if Orochi escapes back to Flower Capital, he has to deal with Kyoshiro. But now, if somebody escapes from there and goes back to Flower Capital, they have to deal with Hiyori and whatever Hiyori has going down. You feel me? My camera's running out, so I'm going to speed this up a little bit. So Denjiro being here is a huge shock. I did not expect him to come into Wano. I know a lot of you guys were telling me in the past, like, yo, don't you expect it, or do you expect Denjiro to come into Wano? I was like, no, I expect him to stay in the Flower Capital, and I think it'll be a really awesome moment if Orochi's like, oh man, he comes back into the Flower Capital, and he's like, Kyoshiro, please help me, Kyoshiro. And he's like, oh, they're gonna kill me, and then Kyoshiro just pulls out his sword, puts it in his neck, is like, nah, who you think you're talking to, dog? He just turns heel on him right there. I think that would have been awesome. You know, great babyface turn in front of everyone, but no, he's here. And it led to a really, really beautiful moment between him and the Scabbards, where he tells everyone who he is right now, which is napping Kyoshiro. And you even have Ashura Doji like, man, he's strong. Like, I know him. You feel me? And then he states, the favor and debt that I owe the Kozuki clan is immeasurable. In fact, I think back on 40 years ago, Kin, to the Mountain God incident that happened in the capital. And Kinemon's like, yo, there's only be one individual that knows about that. And that's whenever he takes it off and he reveals that it is him, Denjiro. And that junk legitimately got me to cheer up a little bit, bro. Because it's just like, knowing what Denjiro went through, knowing what all the Scabbards went through, and thinking that he was possibly dead, and Denjiro going through all those years of being on his own and being in solitude, having to fake this persona, and having to go through all about this, and having to protect Hiyori and be the witching hour boy. I mean, he's done so much. But to finally be able to get released of those chains that bind him, and freely reveal who he is to the people that he loves, to his company, to his crew, it's such a beautiful moment, man. And I love it. I love that he's here with them, because now all the Scabbards are here, and now if something goes down, they're all together and they'll be able to support each other and help each other to get through this, man. All we need is Nekomushi here, and the whole squad's gonna be here, dog. You feel me? So, man, dude, it's like we lost Kanjuro due to him being the traitor, but now we have Denjiro, and he's ready to go up in like swimwear. And he reveals to them that he has liberated 1,000 samurai from the Rosetsu prisoners' headquarters, and that adds 1,200 men, right? And then he starts praising Kinemon for this supposed galactic brain that he has. And then we get this legendary panel that the raid on Onigashima is going to take place. And now they have 5,400 soldiers ready to go up in like swimwear onto Onigashima to face off against the Numbers and Kaido and Big Mom's crew. And what is downright about to be the most epic battle in the series up until this point in time. Without question. Get an incredible spread right here. And then we have Denjiro and the rest of the Scabbards hyping up Kinemon. And Galactic Brain Kinemon has this to say, because he is just so... his brain is so huge. We can't even begin to connect the amount of dots that he put together in order to put all this together. So this whole entire time was supposed to be the wharf, not Tokage port. Kinemon is so genius that he's even confusing us readers. You know, the normal reader will look at this and be like, Flagnards, so Kinemon was trolling? You know, he thought he was buggy? He thinks he's Usopp? Like, he thinks he can just do something wrong and it just doesn't work? Or he does something wrong and it does work and people praise him for it? Like, no, this is Galactic Brain Kinemon. You know what he was doing? Kinemon is challenging the reader. Like, yo, do you really think I'm not capable of this? You think my brain is tiny? No, I have a galactic brain. My brain is the size of the 6 moons out in the stars. I have a 6-moon galactic brain ready to go up in like swimwear. That is what Kinemon has to say. That is what Kinemon has to drop right now in this very situation. And it's factual. Galactic Brain Kinemon came up with this entire plan because he's Galactic Brain Kinemon. Everything that we've seen from the very beginning up until now is all his idea. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. That's been the Afterthoughts. I will see y'all next time, man. My battery's about to die. If not, I wanted to elaborate a little bit more on the Denjiro thing. But aside from that, Galactic Brain Kinemon is here. The Strahds are back together again. The auction house trio with Kid, Law, and Luffy are ready to raid on Onigashima. And the 9 Scabbards are all together. We have 5,400 people. And when we come back from break, we're either heading towards Onigashima or we're going to see what's currently going down on Onigashima. And honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised if Oda decided to go elsewhere and show us what's happening around the world. No matter what happens, though, it's going to be awesome sauce, man. Can't wait for the series to come back from its break. But until then, this has been the Recon's piece. Let me know what y'all think about any of the things said in this video, whether it be the Afterthoughts, or for Part Warriors, for the volume cover, or for anything else, man. I look forward to seeing y'all in the comment section down below. But until next time, have an awesome day. One Piece greatness. It's the GOAT in the coat. Everyone's looking fresh. And Galactic Brain Kinemon is here to save the day, baby. Let's get it.